Namaste everyone, welcome to my and Josh's Yoga Ascetics. You're with me Joshna, and today's topic I'm gonna explain about Samadhi, the final limb of Ashtanga Yoga, and a lot of people who are trying to attain is the state called Samadhi. There's not a lot I can share with from my personal experience, but I can share from my understanding of reading the Yoga Sutra. I'm not sure if I attain Samadhi, would I be doing this video? So I have no idea exactly the experience of it, to be very frank. I only know, I have an understanding of it from my teachers and from the books I've read, and from teaching this I've grasped a little bit of my understanding, a little bit of what it is. So I'm going to explain that to you through this video. So Samadhi is according to Yoga Sutra, Samadhi is a state which is also further divided into two. So one is Samadhi with seed, Samadhi without seed, and that is the final stage of Samadhi. And Samadhi with seed again is classified into 4 types, and we will see one by one later. So before even Patanjali talk about Samadhi in Yoga Sutra, he speaks about a lot of details. He starts with, now yoga begins, and what is yoga, and what happens if you practice yoga, what happens if you don't practice yoga, and what are the modifications of the mind. Very beautiful, systematic way he's written the Yoga Sutras in the first chapter. It's one of my favorite chapters as well. Actually, the whole Yoga Sutra is favorite, but yeah, so what he's trying to tell in the first chapter is in the Samadhi Pada. It's named Samadhi Pada because it gives us details about the stages of Samadhi. Before explaining about these various stages of Samadhi, he says, you have to practice certain things, certain concentration, so your mind will become stable and clear. The moment your mind becomes stable and clear, it becomes a transparent crystal. In that, when your mind becomes transparent crystal, he's saying a process of seer, seeing and seen. So I am the seer. If I look at my hand is the object, the seen, and there is a process of seeing. So these 3 things, right? So in a sense, seer is the soul, and seeing is whatever object you're seeing, right? And this instrument, the mind, is helping the soul to see the objects. So now imagine if the mind is not a transparent crystal. It has a lot of dirt in it, a lot of impurities in it, a lot of colorings in it. So the seer, when they see the object through this colored crystal, then the object appears as different colors, so we have different perceptions about this object. Now imagine the mind is now clear and stable, so it became a pure transparent crystal. So when the seer is looking through, the object shines forth, the essence of the object shines forth. So whatever the seer is looking, he has complete knowledge of the object. So when you know about something, have complete knowledge, you have the power over that. So this is the state where you will achieve once you practice a lot of stabilizing your mind and a lot of practices. When you attain this stage, and then he explains about the 4 types of seed Samadhi and another seedless Samadhi. So first he says, if you have this kind of a crystal mind, the seer becomes completely absorbed in the object without any coloring. That means the object, as pure as it is, the seer can become one with it without any coloring. So if we can do this concentration or absorption through different stages. The first can be a physical object. That is, the first stage is called vitarka. So vitarka means the gross objects. So complete absorption in a gross object. Your seer becomes completely absorbed in the gross object. That is vitarka. In this vitarka, there is two ways again. Savitarka, nirvitarka. Savitarka means when you're completely absorbed into the object, still this object exists in the realms of space and time. So it has a name and a form. So you are absorbed in the object, but you are aware of the condition in which it exists, the space and time. But when this name and form disappear, only the essence of the object shines forth. And then you're absorbed in that essence. That is called nirvitarka. That is without, sa means with, nir means without a gross object, but you're absorbed in the essence of it. So this is the first one. And then vichara. Vichara means a subtle object. And then we have ananda. Ananda means bliss. Asmita means the self, I, the word I. So there are stages where your concentration will be absorbed in the physical object and the essence of the physical object, and then a subtle object and the essence of the subtle object, and then bliss and the essence of being blissful, and then the self, and then the self itself. So when you go into that self itself, it goes to the next stage of samadhi, which is called a seedless samadhi, where there is no seed, you're absorbed completely in itself. So I only have a vague understanding of this. I cannot say I understand so much about it, but I can say, as you also read a lot about space and time, and I understand this state of samadhi as you have mastered and you've gone beyond space and time, so you are eternal. So if there is no space and time controlling me, then I can be present anywhere at any time. So you become eternal. This realization that you are omnipresent always at any given place, at any given time, then you have attained that realization, then you have attained samadhi. This is my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is what I feel about samadhi. If I don't explain about samadhi after explaining about all the 8 limbs, then it wouldn't make sense. It cannot be put together. So this is my understanding, and I hope if you take a little bit out of it, I'm happy, and hope you enjoy this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Namaste.